So I'm doing my project on the education system. The reason why I've chosen this is it's something everybody deals with. It's vastly important because the whole basis of the education system is preparing our children for the future. I think that most people can agree that that's pretty important. It's my own opinion and belief that I think it's not really what we need it to be. Maybe when it was developed, the uses for it fit that need. But I don't think today that it's coming close to what we need it for. Let's take an average school, an average classroom. You've got kids from all backgrounds, all walks of life, wealthy, not so wealthy, different countries, different cultures. So we take them, we dump them all into like one room. And then we tell them, this is what you're going to learn, this specific thing. You're going to learn it now. You're going to learn it in this amount of time. And then when you're done, we're going to teach you something else that takes that and builds on it. So in a classroom of approximately 30 people, maybe 5 to 10 kids learn this lesson like lightning. They've got it down pat in a quarter of the time it takes. So what do? They're now bored. So they fidget, they fuss, they talk to their classmates, they cause disturbances. So these are problem kids. So then another 5 kids, maybe 10 kids out of the same class. They're good kids. They work hard. They're still smart, but it's just something that's foreign to them, kind of. So it takes them a little longer to assimilate the information. They just need a little extra work. But you've already given them just this amount of time. So when this amount of time is up, they haven't learned it. So how do they put building blocks on top of that when they haven't built the foundation yet? They don't. So they fall behind. So they're not learning the new stuff. They're just kind of coasting and going with things and appearing. What does this do to them? Then they start to feel like they're not as smart as their classmates, that they don't measure up. This is not what we want them to feel. Maybe they excel in sports. Maybe they excel in math, and science isn't their lesson, So then these kids are left feeling, though, that they're not as smart because they don't learn this as well. But we have to look at also, what are we even teaching them? Like, school is to prepare for life. So is it a great trade-off that maybe this kid can tell you that Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean in 1492 with 3 ships named the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria, but he doesn't know how to balance a checkbook. He doesn't know how to get a mortgage or, clean his house or take care of himself. Why doesn't he know those things? Because no one's taught him those skills. So he gets out on his own, learning in school that, maybe he's not as smart as everyone else, or thinking that. So then we basically shove him out into the world and say, you know what? Go to college, do this. Like, grow up. You're expected to be an adult. You're expected to know all these things. Like, this is a pretty awful predicament to put someone in, The reason why I've chosen this is I have 2 daughters, and they're very different. The oldest one can pick up a textbook, and in 5 minutes, she can go through it, and she can tell you the answers to any question you asked. The younger one, on the other hand, she takes longer to learn these lessons. She's just as smart, but she's just different. So that's why I've chosen this material. I personally think that, Montessori schools have a better system because everyone does have a different learning pace. So that's what we need to look into. And we need to look into having a life class where students can be taught important things, like things that they need for life. things that'll help build their character, help teach them to deal with stressful traumas in their life, because everyone's life goes through trauma. If we don't give people coping mechanisms to deal with that, what are they going to resort to deal with traumas? They can't handle it. So people resort to drugs and alcohol. And this leads them down the path of potentially criminal activity, loss of work, loss of home life. It's a spiral that, we've started way back in elementary school by letting them believe that they don't have the skills or they're not as smart as other people, and it's just been beaten into their brains over time, continuously in little ways, and not giving them what they need to cope when we do put them out on their own. To me, this is a very violent, vicious cycle that we need to look into to change for the better. For the sake of our kids, don't we want the best for them? Thank you.